Well, happy Friday, members. I'm doing this video that way I can try to explain everything instead of getting a million questions. So I am uploading Holdings Revision 1 of January. So one question came up was I didn't have everything labeled. So now I have all the top labeled. So, my dog gets up every time I hit the record button. And then she shakes. And she still has her collar on, but she'll lay back down. Kills me. I should just take that off before I record. Well, anyway, so it shows you the type, ticker, percentage of the portfolio, group. I think that's self-explanatory. The green cells are drip is on. I give you the total percentages, and the percentages are calculated off of dollars, and it's dollars invested. Really don't. That's always the comment is, well, what happens when you have growth and it grows? I don't really give two darns. I want a certain percentage off my dollars invested. I don't get it. If it grows 3,000%, do you think I'm going to take 3,000% more dollars? No, I'm going to take the dollars as what I have invested. That is the key point. So it's shares, and then it's cost. And dollars, that's what my actual cost is in dollars that I have invested. Distributions, now the distributions are the actual distribution rates for each one. Right off the most recent one. Total distributions, you can see what that is. Use the live on. So here's where it comes into why I wanted to make the video. So the business development companies, PBDC and PIZD, are quarterly and not monthly. So you'll see that the calculations I have all the way to the end is quarterly, and then I break it down to a monthly, so you can see monthly calculations of how that would actually affect. And what I'm going to do with those, I'm going to take 80% and reinvest the rest. Be done with it, all right? Don't make the math complicated. So my reinvestment going forward is I'm just going to reinvest right back into the fund 50% of what's left over from the distributions. 50% left, yes. And then 50% is going to go into JAAA. That's where it's going to go. It's going to go there as a holding fund. And I actually like that because I took my distribution yesterday for my living expenses for this month and hopefully all of February. So it kind of breaks it up. So what I'm going to live on is going to go into the money market account. What I'm going to reinvest that I haven't reinvested is going to go into JAAA. And that will solve mixing funds because that's the hardest part I've had to do in trying to manage this is funds kept on getting, and then I was trying to do the yield. So that you'll notice that there's no yield max. And that is exactly, I took all the yield max out. I put that two separate accounts. I only have those two separate accounts. I don't want funds from my Maverick side messing up my actual retirement side. And this is what I'm retired on. And now you kind of understand why it gets so fuzzy, because it's even fuzzier because this is IRA rollover, IRA, Roth IRA rollover, Roth, and I have a small portion of this actually in my HSA. So I got to take 5 accounts and add them all up, and now you can see what the problem is, right? So my HSA only has a small amount, and full disclosure, it is invested in QQQI. All right. So every month it gets just deposited. I do not do any reinvestment of those funds. Those funds are sitting there for my medical expenses, and it's actually paid off fairly well, actually. So we don't have dental insurance. So we went to the dentist and got our teeth cleaned and everything. And that's a dental insurance is a funny one, because if we would have stayed put where we are, the dentist actually offered dental insurance that included the cleanings, crowns, and everything else. So we are looking, so when we do actually settle down, do we get the dental insurance with the dentist that we're going to go see? And that's a longer term play. The one thing is, I haven't told anybody, is the RV is still up for sale. So we have the RV spot in end of March. The RV is up for sale. We've had 2 inquiries recently. We had a new roof put on it, brakes and everything done to it, so it's good to go for the springtime. But if we sell it, we're going to probably get an apartment close to our daughter, who is south of us by a couple hours, and we're going to go south of her by a couple hours because we want to be a little bit warmer. By the way, they're talking about a foot of snow outside. Oh, I'm not very happy about this weekend. So I want to go south of her because she's getting no snow, and she's only a couple hours south of us. So that's how we're going to play that out life cycle. Yeah, so hopefully this all kind of makes sense. I don't want to share this with, and that's the whole problem. I don't want to share this with the world. You don't put this out on the internet. And that's the hard problem, because I don't mind sharing. It's a small group, but you get into these, you need to share your whole portfolio with everybody that watches. Yeah, that's not quite what I want to do. That's not, no, that's, maybe it's because I'm older, right? I don't need the whole world to know. Now, I still have my IVV, my QQQM, and my Berkshire Hathaway. So every now and then, if I really get tight or pinch or whatnot, I might take a couple funds, but I'll let you know. I'm going to expand that. I think I'm going to add SCHG to that folder, but we're going to find that out. And then next week, we're doing the whole Seeking Alpha. They're doing theirs. I'm going to look for trends. I'm not going to buy individual stocks. I am going to buy an ETF that holds those stocks. And I might do a little speculation. I think I need, instead of just IVV, QQQM, and Berkshire Hathaway, I might put 1 or 2%, into an AI ETF for growth. And that's my growth section. I don't do everything in income, because if I did, after looking at this sheet, I'm still sitting there going, okay, let's break this down. I get $184,000 a year in distributions. Do I really need it to be 360? Really? No, I don't. We don't hardly even live on $90,000. So, yeah. So you can see the dilemma. I mean, you could, there's nothing wrong with that. I could put everything into this, but then I'm sitting there going, then these get all Wonka, and you have to start investing in, like Steven with 82 funds, and who has time? I mean, I can barely keep up with the funds that I have. He does 82 funds. No. Consolidate. You will notice on the sheet that I'm uploading, I have question marks. I'm looking for a new preferred stock. I'm still looking. Income, armchair income. Armchair. Did some the other day on preferred stocks, and I'm looking at some of those. one of the guys that I follow, which is Systematic Income. I'm following them, and they have a couple preferred stocks that they've brought up a couple times that are trading, and then about 8.5% wise. And then I'm also looking at another CLO. Don't know which one, but another one. Went to the Claws website today, and the name has changed from Paradigm to the mothership's name, if you didn't catch that. I think I brought that up in another video, that maybe on Sunday's video, the Sweet Tea, that I actually told you that the guy that took charge was actually the other guy's boss from the guy that, yeah, so they got rid of Paradigm, and now they have a different mothership name instead of a different company. So it's just a matter of time, and it's all that integration. I mean, come on, I worked for a big company. So these guys are out in California, no association. They gave me a free shirt, just thought I'd throw it out. Nice guys. But anyway, when they integrate, they're going to change names and stuff like that. Standard corporate, big corporations. So hopefully I explained this well enough. I think that if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, you'll see that reinvestment straight back into the funds is about $4,000. I'm going to put 3,700 into JAA waiting. HYBI on my list. Love to buy it. They did a reverse split. If they come out with a just over 8% with after the reverse split, then I'm okay. If they change something around, you always got to be worried about when they do a reverse split. But looking at it, they raised the cost of the stock to the exact same cost of a SPY-I, QQQI. So, okay, I get that. I get why they did what they did. But I'm going to wait for one more distribution. ZVol, I don't know. That's highly speculative. I don't know. So I did buy a share, and I wanted to sit there and say, hey, if we get a big VIX spike, I might dump in a couple percentages into it, and maybe I just ride it up and sell it. Or they're paying like 27, 28%. So it's an interesting one. It's more speculative than anything else, but if I can get it at a cheap price, I'm in. So yeah, I was always going to do buying at, what was I going to do? Oh, buying at the 50-day moving average. So yes, I am going to buy at the 50-day moving average with more of the funds. And what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to try to update this first week of every month, because that's right around distribution time, so you can see the distributions. I am going to try to tell you, hey, I plan on reinvesting 50% back into these, and I'm just going to put it into JAA. Or I'm going to say, hey, that CLO is going to be, I don't know, JBBB. I mean, it might be. That might be the one I put it into, but who knows? I'm just trying to be risk averse. Right. So, I mean, average yield. I mean, if you look at the average yield, if I've done this right, I'm at 15%. Now that's a big yield. That is, I don't care what anybody says. That's a big yield. It's just big. It's larger than what I thought it was going to be. But I'm trying to live off of this stuff, and I think if I put some of this stuff in, some of that will come down a little bit. So there you have it. I got everything updated. I think everything's correct math-wise. Pretty sure it's math-wise. All right, then, yeah, we'll go from there. That's quarterly, right? And that is what I'm going to live off. That's a quarterly payment. Yeah, so there you go. Hopefully this explains everything. And we'll go from there. Until next time. God bless. I don't think there's going to be a video today. I'm looking up a couple other funds to have something for Saturday. God bless.